Okay, so good morning. We will start the session now. It's 5:30. Before I start, I would like to make sure whether my voice is clear. Can you hear me properly?
Yes,
Yes, good morning.
yes.
Yes,
Good
yes,
morning.
yes.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir.
Madhushi and Niswana. And
Yes,
yeah, is the screen visible? I
yes,
always,
sir.
yeah,
Yes,
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you, Keshini. And Isha, we will start. As I have told you, I need not repeat it. Your active contribution is highly appreciated. You can raise any question at any time during the course of the lecture. Sudden breakdown is likely, so I request you to stay in the meeting for about 5 minutes. I like if you can show me the last name plus one other name. Your last name would be important because it's easy for me to refer to the register immediately. And I like to know your names. You'll be conducting your presentations, etc. in the future. So I like to know your name. And my advice to you is during the course of the lectures, take down any important points. So you need not listen to the recording once more. And while you are listening to the theoretical aspect of this subject, we gather theoretical knowledge, and at the same time, you are conducting research, a practical component. Therefore, always, while the theory is being described, pay attention to what you expected to do or what you are willing to do. I have given you the assignment. I would like to make sure whether the assignment has been uploaded. Is it being uploaded now?
no, sir.
That's not yet, sir.
Not yet. Okay. So, yeah, anyway, be ready with your assignment. It is to write the research proposal. So, you have been given guidelines. I mean, I may not, I mean, respond to the WhatsApp messages asking me about the number of words and all clearly given here, all instructions. If there are other issues, please raise such questions during the lecture. This is the tentative structure of your proposal, but you can slightly change them. These are necessary parts, compulsory. Apart from that, you can slightly change. For example, if you need to support your background with previous research, you can add it in any point where it is relevant without damaging the flow of your proposal. You can add any part. If you have any question about the assignment, not about your topic. Your topic, I will once again stop the lecture around 7:15, last 15 minutes. If you have not yet still, if you have not, discuss the title with me, you can discuss it. You can send me a chat message so that I will alter the words. I'm not going to change your title later, but any question other than the title. Any question other than the title about your assignment? No.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Okay.
this is
Tamali.
not,
Tamali, yes.
good morning, sir. Sir, this is not about the assignment. So this question is about the previous lecture. Can I ask the question, sir?
Yes. You are welcome. Good.
Mm. Okay, sir. The previous lecture we have learned the operationalization of concept. So my question is, this concept can we apply for the every researchers, especially qualitative research and non-experiment research because we do not use any measurable variables in this research. So how can we apply this operationalization of concept for those to research?
Very good question, Taman. Yeah, there are restrictions in using the operationalization. If you measure something quantitatively, very good. If you measure something quantitatively, you must formulate your hypothesis. Before you formulate your hypothesis, it is essential that you convert your concepts into measurable entities, because you are going to deal with numbers, statistical. But in case of some, not all, some qualitative research, this may not be possible. This may not be possible. So in such instances, it is not necessary to have a hypothesis, clearly defined hypothesis. Some studies, as we have discussed previously, hypothesis building rather than hypothesis testing, inductive studies. So in such instances, it is not necessary to focus on the operationalization process. It is not necessary to, it is not possible really to focus on the operationalization process. But if it is statistical, experimental, hypothesis testing research, operationalization is a must. Otherwise, you can, you are unable to convert certain phenomena into measurable quantities or measurable entities. You are right, Tamali. Very good question. And yeah, since we have, even today I'm going to deal with qualitative, quantitative distinction. You are right. In some studies, it may not be possible. Tamali?
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, very good. That reflects your understanding and your insights. You have thought about it. Remember, we are learning theories. I am teaching you theories. All theories may not be applied in all contexts. Right? Okay, very good, Taman. Yeah, such other question? This is useful because rather than you call me personally and ask about an opinion, this is useful for the others also, so that everybody can, come to an understanding of the fundamental issues here. Very good, Tamali. Let me proceed ahead. Now, one other, this is the, announcement in the sense, during the last 15 minutes, I will stop the lecture around 7:15, 7:20 like. So during the last 15 minutes, if you have not discussed the title with me, still you are able to do it. Even today, you can discuss. I'm not going to change your title. I will change the words in your title so that the university will inform you to submit the title to the university, so that when requested, you can submit it. So I do not have to go through each title because I have seen them in the class. So I can easily approve the document. The next step, after you write your proposal presentation. You are supposed to conduct a presentation. So prepare your slides, be ready for your presentation also. Be ready for your presentation also, so that with a short notice, you will be asked to conduct your presentation. When you have prepared your slides, it's easy, not very lengthy one. Here are some details. I will, read out one or two. This will be sent or uploaded officially by the university, but in the class you are supposed to design only about 6 slides, 5 minutes presentation. This time management is very important. Slide number 1 should include your title, the name, your name and number, etc. Slide number 2, background. That is directly background, only the most important information directed towards your main problem. Slide number 3 is the problem statement. Only 1 or 2 sentences highlighting the main problem. Main problem you identify. Only the problem, not the solution. Slide number 4, solution means your objectives. You have to clearly indicate your general objective. We know how to formulate it now. And based on the general objective, one or more specific objectives. They should be aligned with the title and the problem. The other slides can be used to describe your methodology. You can, briefly, very briefly include how you select your sample size, research instruments, whether you distribute a questionnaire, research procedure, that is the steps. Step number 1, you select the participants. After that, what do you do? After that, what do you do? The procedure, the steps. So literature review, significance, etc., the limitations, they should not be included in the slides, in the presentation. So design slides effectively. It should be suitable for an academic presentation, right? So font size, etc., you should pay attention to that. How you grab the attention of the audience, emphasizing the most relevant information. Emphasizing the most relevant information. So do not ask me about the specifications like letter size, etc. You should be sensitive how the audience will gain, how you will be able to gain the attention of the audience. I want one favor only from one student. Next week, in the next lesson, one of you can prepare your slides and conduct the presentation, not for marks, but as a example, exactly 5 minutes. I will criticize it, not to condemn you, but to help the others how they should develop it. I will point out both good and weak points so that everybody can learn. Who would like to take the responsibility? Only one student presentation. Who would like to take it? Since somebody? Can one of you prepare your slides?
I do.
Okay, Fatima, thank you. All right, I'm very happy that you voluntarily accepted the, you may prepare 5 or 6 slides and only 5 minutes. Errors are okay. I will point out, not to condemn you, so that everybody will learn and follow her model to conduct the presentation, Viva presentation, later when the university announces it officially. Okay, then I shall, if you have any questions, you can raise. If not, I shall proceed. During the previous lecture, we have discussed the concept variable, a factor that affects something. For example, your intelligence affects, your motivation affects, your factor that affects some other thing, like your intelligence affects your second language proficiency. So we identify the independent variable, dependent variable, and extraneous variable. Independent variable is the one that we change, the cause, the reason for ultimate change. The result is second language proficiency. Example is dependent variable. Other variables that can play a part in this process can be called extraneous variables. So to form variables, you begin with the concept. So operationalization means you convert, it is a process of converting these concepts, mental concepts, into measurable units. That is operationalization. So when you formulate your hypothesis, you begin with a proposition. Proposition is rough idea. So you convert the variables in that proposition will be converted, or the concepts in that proposition will be converted into variables to formulate your hypothesis. So after you identify your independent and dependent variables, it provides you a diagram like this. It is the conceptual framework. So we are able to answer these questions now. What is a variable? What are the different types of variables? You can explain. What is meant by independent with examples? What is meant by dependent variable? You are able to explain. What do you mean by the process of operationalization? My spelling error is there. What is meant by conceptual framework? You are able to explain. So I'm starting today's lecture. It will be structured like this. In the first part, I will provide you further support for you in the process of proposal writing. And afterwards, I will move on to the next part, qualitative, quantitative studies in detail, and experimental survey studies in detail, and research instruments. So first part, further support for proposal writing. Here, this is really repeating, but you can think in this line. You begin with the problem. You begin with the problem. Your general problem. Example, as a teacher. Why are my students weak in writing? Why can't they write? What can I do? You notice a problem, very general problem. You start from there. You propose a solution. I will do some reading activities to develop their writing. That is my solution. My solution is to do some reading activities. I believe that their writing will be improved through that. So now it is clear, reading will improve their writing. My title is now clear. I will give a professional outlook to my title. Impact of reading practice on development of second language writing skills. Impact of reading practice on development of second language writing skills. My objective is very clear from that title. Objective is directly to investigate the impact of reading practice on the development of second language writing skills. So objective can be derived from that problem. When you have that, it is the general objective. From that general objective, you design, you formulate specific objectives. See, my general objective is to investigate the impact of reading practice on the development of second language writing skills. My specific objective 1, examine the relationship between reading time and writing proficiency. Second, explore the effect of scanning activities, reading, scanning activities on the development of writing proficiency. So I have broken my general objective into mini units, reading time, scanning activities. That is altogether reading practice. So my specific objectives are clear. After that, everything is based on my specific objectives. Now I will forget the title and the general objective. I will work with the specific objectives. One is examine the relationship between reading time and writing proficiency. The other one, effect of scanning activities on development of writing proficiency. So I need to distinguish various variables. In the first specific objective, reading time and writing proficiency, reading time and writing proficiency are the variables. Reading time independent, writing proficiency dependent. Or in the second specific objective, scanning activities independent, writing proficiency dependent variable. So I can formulate the hypothesis based on the first one. The amount of reading time increases writing proficiency. Very short, simple sentence highlight based on my specific objective containing the dependent and independent variable. The amount of reading time increases writing proficiency. For my second specific objective, scanning activities. Scanning activities increase the writing proficiency. Very short, simple sentence based on my specific objectives. When you have this plan, your study is very clear, obvious. So my conceptual framework is very clear. I have amount of reading time will increase writing proficiency. Scanning activities based teaching will increase writing proficiency. Conceptual framework is very clear. So how to investigate this? I will conduct a teaching program based on scanning activities. I will conduct a pre-test before the teaching program, and I will do scanning activities. I will conduct a post-test to see whether they have improved writing. So pre-test, post-test design I will use. That is how that is my proposal.
Sir, excuse me, I have a question, sir.
Very good, very good. What is it?
Sir,
yeah,
this
what is it,
pre-test
Manish?
and post, yes, sir, this pre-test and post-test, we would be conducting the same particular paper, or else can we consider the general exam results as the post-test?
General, you can conduct
No.
either same test or parallel test. No harm. No harm.
No problem, right?
No
so
problem.
the outcome won't be biased, right?
Wait. But if you take the general examination, you are measuring the writing proficiency. Only the writing proficiency. General examination will measure very many
Vast
aspects. reading,
it's a vast area.
speaking, other aspects may be measured in the general exam. If you take the marks of the writing part in the general exam, okay, right?
Okay.
You can take the
Yes, I
marks of only the writing part
only the writing part. Yes, sir.
in the
Thank you.
general exam, or you can plan your own test to measure only the writing proficiency. Mahisha, clear?
Yes, sir. So should it be the same paper we will be conducting, like pre-test, the same paper we can conduct it again as post-test?
Up to you. Up to you.
Uh-huh.
Same or
So,
parallel. Same
yeah,
or
if we,
parallel.
in case we design another paper for post-test, it won't be biased, right? I mean,
It should not be biased. That
yeah,
means,
it won't be imbalanced, right?
yeah, therefore better to use same or
Same paper.
parallel test.
Oh,
Parallel
okay,
test,
understood.
that means similar. Same test, practical issues will arise, students will not be motivated and they will, right? So you can plan a parallel test similar to the pre-test so
Similar
that
to
you
the,
can measure
yeah, the
whether they
contents
have
will be same.
actually improved.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, right, good. So that reflects your practical. Yeah, Fatima.
If we measure the writing, if you are going to measure the writing skill, that should be only the writing, like essays, notices. But if we are measuring the English proficiency, we can take the general test as well. Is that?
There you are.
Thank
You are right. If you are measuring the general, my example includes only writing, so you have to measure writing. But if you measure general proficiency, English language proficiency, you can take the marks of general examination where general English language proficiency is measured. Okay, Fatima? So,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, it is up to you. It is up to you depending on your requirements. Now, I will go little further. Another research. Same problem. Why are my students weak in writing? What can I do? She may think in a different line. She may not think about, okay, my suggestion is to include some writing activities. No, not that. She will think in a different line from a different perspective. Her solution, I will find out why they are weak. That is enough. Why are they weak? I will find out the reasons. So she is not, her solution is to find out the solution. Sorry, find out the reasons. She is not suggesting some reading activities or something to improve. If we can find out the reasons, that is also useful. Because I am a teacher, then I know the reasons. So when I know the reasons, I can work accordingly. So finding out the reasons, she is suggesting, I will find out the reasons. That is also a good research. Here, then the title is different. Difficulties encountered by learners in the development of second language writing skills.
Is this a hypothesis building research?
It once again differs. You can make it hypothesis building or you can make it hypothesis testing. Right, Fatima? So there are so many ways to approach the same phenomenon. Different perspectives. I will use only one way. That does not mean it is the only way to deal with the particular phenomenon. So as Fatima pointed out, it can be hypothesis building or it can be hypothesis testing. I will take only one route. My objective, clear from the title, investigate the difficulties encountered by learners in the development of second language writing skills. So the title would indicate your objective. Now, based on the general objective, investigate the difficulties encountered by learners. I must design, formulate specific objectives. 1. Identify the impact of vocabulary on the development of writing proficiency. I think because they are weak in vocabulary, they can't write. So identify the impact of vocabulary on the development of writing. Another one, identify the impact of learners' attitude on the development of writing. So maybe their attitudes are completely different. I think their attitudes, it is because, so identifying the reasons means you have to think about specific reasons and begin there without, being empty. So I have selected 2. That is enough. I can't investigate everything. I can't investigate everything. Every reason. I chose 2. Vocabulary is 1. Their attitude is 1. I will check it. So I have again variables. Vocabulary 1, vocabulary power and writing proficiency. For the attitude 1, learner's attitude and writing proficiency. I can work. So I can formulate hypothesis. Identify the impact of vocabulary on the development. My simple hypothesis, short 1. Vocabulary power influences writing proficiency. Very short. My second one, learner's attitude. Learners' attitudes influence writing proficiency. Very short, simple statement. Not very long. Learners' attitudes about the second. No, not like very short, simple one. Then I have the conceptual framework. I believe that vocabulary power will increase writing proficiency. Learners' attitudes will improve writing proficiency. How can I investigate? One way, I will use a survey. I don't want to do any teaching. I will distribute a questionnaire. Among the teachers, I will distribute a separate questionnaire. Among the students, I will distribute a questionnaire. I will collect data from the questionnaire to see whether my hypothesis is correct. So I will do that. Or another way, I will interview with the teachers. I will take some teachers interview. I will interview students separate and I will find out their opinions. That is one way. So to investigate, there are very many options. Same phenomenon can be researched, explored, pre-test, post-test model, or distributing questionnaire, asking opinion. It is quantitatively, you can analyze the frequencies. 30% of participants said that their attitudes contribute or whatever, right? So statistically, you can analyze quantitatively or through the interview. Their questionnaire or interview, you can collect their opinions. Qualitatively, you can analyze. There are different ways to do it. So how to investigate? Very many ways. Quantitatively through experimental study, pre-test, post-test, or survey, quantitatively through a questionnaire, or survey, or qualitatively, or even observation in the class while you are doing writing activities, scanning activities, or whatever. You prepare a checklist and you either qualitatively or quantitatively analyze. So not for this one, or you can do text analysis. That is, you analyze what type of errors are evident. It is text analysis. Errors are analyzed. You see whether grammatical errors exist, lexical errors with regard to the words, how the words, how they write, various patterns emerging from that data set, or through interview, a survey, you can. So there are so many ways to investigate the same phenomenon. Here we will identify one very short concept, very simple one, triangulation. What does this mean? Anybody? What does it mean, triangulation? Yes, Sepali.
Procedure.
Oh, Keshini, you are right. What do you mean by procedure?
Steps to continue the research.
Right, but there is something beyond that in the concept triangulation.
Identifying the concepts.
Oh, Keshini, something beyond it. Maisha?
So there should be multiple use of theories.
Exactly. Very good. Explain, Maisha, so that my work is easy. If you explain it, right? You are
No,
doing
sir.
right. Fine. That is how we learn.
We follow the theory to implement them. We cannot just jump into conclusion. There should be a way.
Yeah, multiple. You mentioned that's a good word. What does that mean? And explain on that.
I'm stuck, sir.
No. I know that you know that. Triangulation in research means, I mean, this can be used in different fields with different meanings. In research, basically, we refer to multiple methods. You are right, Mulshan. Multiple methods to investigate one research question. One phenomenon, one issue, one research question. Different ways are employed. Different ways. Example, are language games effective? Are language games effective to develop speaking? You investigate. One way, you distribute a questionnaire among the students and you ask the question whether they like it, whether it is, how it is. Very different questions can be. But you do not stop there. You give a questionnaire to the teachers also. What do you think about language game? I mean, you should have good questions. We will discuss how to design the questions later. You prepare a questionnaire and distribute it among the teachers, asking whether the language games are effective. You do not stop there. You select a sample, limited number of teachers, because you can't interview all the teachers. You select about 8 teachers. So you interview these teachers and you ask the same question, what is your opinion about the language games? So you collect data from that. You do not stop there. You prepare a checklist and do the classroom observation while you are using language games. You collect data through your observation. Further, you will conduct a pre-test, post-test. You are doing language games. Before you begin that, you conduct a pre-test. And after you conduct your intervention, language games based teaching for about 1 month, You conduct a post test and you see whether there is an improvement with regard to speaking. So multiple ways are used to identify the same phenomenon, the same problem. Are language games effective? The use of multiple ways to investigate the same issue. One issue is simply referred to as triangulation. So what is meant by triangulation? It is the use of multiple ways, multiple methods to investigate one specific problem. One specific problem. Repeating, if at the examination, if you ask, what is triangulation? It is the use of multiple methods, multiple ways to investigate the same phenomenon. You use different strategies, different instruments to collect data to investigate one problem. It is triangulation. I believe everybody understood. So this will increase validity in your research. This because you are using multiple perspectives from different angles, different perspectives, you investigate the same phenomenon. So that your objective investigate the effectiveness of language games. From a variety of ways you investigate, your validity increases. But my advice, do not confuse unnecessarily by taking so many. You will be confused at undergraduate level. Therefore, select 2-3 ways. I shall be proceeding on to the next.
Then it will be accurate. Am I correct, sir?
You are correct. You are correct, Purnima. Explain it further. Very good.
So like different sources, now under a particular title, we are targeting, we are framing with different aspects so that we can get the clear, correct answer for our question from different perspectives.
Exactly, Purnima. Well done. Right, that is what is meant by increase in validity. Increase in validity in your study. Very good, Purnima. You have understood it. Thank you. Everybody got the point, I believe. That increases validity because you are taking data from different sources to investigate the same phenomenon. So it increases validity in your findings. Good. Okay. So let me proceed on to the next part of the lecture. Qualitative and qualitative and quantitative studies. Qualitative and quantitative studies. What is meant by qualitative and quantitative studies? We have in the introductory lecture, we have discussed very basic so you by the end of this part of the lecture, you should be able to compare and contrast. Compare means the similarities, contrast means the differences between qualitative and quantitative research. Qualitative and quantitative research. Can one of you explain the basic difference?
Yes, the qualitative is based on subjective data and quantitative is based on like the marks, like statistics. The marks,
right. Very good, Fatima. Explain further.
Now, subjective means like we get the essays of students or maybe the interview data. But statistics means we'll say now the students who score for English, the literature students who score the marks they score for English, and the students who do other subjects, the marks they score for English. Those marks.
statistically. Therefore, objective. Therefore, research is referred to as
Objective.
objective, I mean qualitative or quantitative?
Quantitative.
Fine. And what is the other one you said, Fatima? Good.
Qualitative.
Yeah, what is that?
That is subjective.
Yeah, explain.
That we get the questionnaires or essays they write or the interviews, the data, you know, how can I say, group.
Without numerical statistical data.
Yes, very specifically, yes, sir.
Fine. Good. Thank you, Fatima. Anybody, any other difference? So that we have, I mean, the question.
Analysis on particular
Umadevi. Yeah,
text
could you?
analysis, focus group interviews.
Yeah, Umadevi, explain. Very good.
Those are the ways of collecting data. Selection
Yeah.
of tools, data collection tools.
That's right. Very good. So that what type of data are they? Qualitative or quantitative?
Qualitative.
Qualitative. Why do you say qualitative? Because you do not deal with numeral or statistical
Yeah, no numerical
data.
data.
Exactly. Very good, Umadevi. Thank you. Yeah. Any other difference you would like to highlight? Yeah, I will go ahead. So remember, by the end of this, you should be able to answer the question, discuss the differences between qualitative research and quantitative research. So as you pointed out initially, the analysis based on test scores, marks, and the analysis based on interview data. So analysis based on test scores, quantitative numbers. Analysis based on interview data, qualitative, non-numericals or statistical data. So difference. One is hypothesis testing. The other one, there is no formal hypothesis. Which one has a direct formal hypothesis? Qualitative or quantitative?
Qualitative test.
Qualitative
Qualitative has hypothesis.
Are you able to, are you able to formulate a hypothesis for qualitative or quantitative?
Quantitative test.
Quantitative, Chaturika and Hekeshini. Fine. Hypothesis testing means you are dealing with these numbers. So it is quantitative. Whereas qualitative studies, you can begin without a hypothesis. Without a hypothesis, without a formal hypothesis. The other one, as Fatima pointed out, it is clear, you explained it nicely so that I need not explain it again. Subjective, that is open for interpretation. That is qualitative. Whereas objective, it is based on factual, one fixed answer is there. That is quantitative. So subjective, if you collect subjective data through interview, qualitative studies be conducted. Whereas if your data are objective, it is quantitative. This is also obvious, you explain numerical, dealing with numbers, statistics, quantitative. if your research is explanatory, not with the numbers, you explain why this phenomenon occurs. For example, you explain the types of errors in the essay. You explain the characteristic features of the president's speech. No numbers, no statistics. You analyze the data. You analyze the patterns emerging from that data set. That is explanatory. Explanatory studies are qualitative. Whereas the ones that deal with numbers or numerals, statistics, it is quantitative, which is based on small data sample, which should be based on large representative sample, qualitative or quantitative.
Qualitative.
Qualitative is better for large representative sample.
That means for interview, you can take a large number, about
Quantitative,
200.
it's a quantitative, you get the marks and you come with, if you have many students marks, it would be more.
That's right. I mean, qualitative,
That is,
a small number or large number.
it doesn't matter though small number or a large number. But if you take a large number, I mean, you need to analyze the papers, I mean, the interviews, go through a lot.
Practically, what is possible?
Small number is possible.
Where? For qualitative or quantitative?
Qualitative, the top one.
Qualitative. Large samples?
Quantitative.
Yeah, basically, I do know, these are not really rules. You are right, Fatima, good. Right, basically, right, so usually for an interview, you can't interview 200 teachers. You may interview 10, like, so small number, small data sources, unrepresentative. That does not represent the true population. All that does not, when you take 8-10 teachers, that does not mean that all the teachers will have these opinions. That is qualitative studies, limited, unrepresentative. Sometimes it may not be possible to generalize. Generalize means to say that this is the general pattern, general opinion of all the teachers. By taking 10 teachers, you can't. But that is qualitative study. You can deal with numbers when you take a large sample. For example, questionnaire distributed among 500 teachers. You can mail the questionnaire. Or for a class test, maybe 80 students are there in the class, or 2 or 3 classes taken. Their marks will be calculated, so that large sample can be taken in quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis would be characterized by large representative sample. Qualitative research is limited by small data sample. In which one do you think findings can be generalized? Generalized to the whole population. This is the pattern among all the teachers, all the students. You can generalize, which is not possible to generalize.
Not possible qualitative. Because
Not
we are taking a small group.
Very good, Fatima. Because we are taking a small group, qualitative may not be generalizable. It's not possible to generalize. Quantitative, since we can take a larger sample, it is we are able to generalize. Another difference between qualitative and quantitative. Think in different lines to discuss the differences between qualitative and quantitative studies. From another perspective, which is conclusive. Yeah, which is
Quali-
conclusive.
Qualitative studies.
Conclusive. Both answers come, qualitative and conclusive means there is a final decision, final conclusion. Yes, students improve. Yes. In some studies, you can't say whether the students improve. This is their pattern. This is how it happens. You explain. You explain why it happens, but it is not conclusive answer. You do not say yes or no. So which is, when you say yes or no, it is conclusive. If there is no one answer, yes, no, you analyze the reasons, you explain the reasons, which is qualitative, which is quantitative. Quantitative is
Conclusive.
conclusive. Quantitative. By analyzing the statistical data, you can say, yes, they improve. No, they did not improve. Conclusive. So it is quantitative. In qualitative, we cannot say whether they improve. These are the types of errors they are making. This happens because of the, you explain. It is qualitative. Even through the interview, some teachers say this opinion. Some teachers say this. They say that the students do not improve through visual aids because they are. So you can give reasons and explain. Qualitative. If you say yes, no, conclusive means quantitative. In which study do you use open-ended questions? In which one do you use close-ended questions? Close-ended means yes, no. For example, are the visual aids useful? Direct answer. Yes or no. Open-ended, on the other hand, why do you think visual aids are useful? So no one answer, you can't say yes or no. They will give different reasons, open-ended. Open-ended questions are directed towards qualitative or quantitative study.
Quantitative.
Which one, Chaturika?
Qualitative.
Which one qualitative? Open-ended or
Open-ended is qualitative because there can be many answers.
Madhushi, explain it little further.
Open-ended questions can be done in qualitatives because in qualitative research we can have many answers. Close-ended means only one particular answer, yes or no, like so. It should be quantitative.
It should be quantitative. Excellent. Good, Madhushi. Thank you. I do not wish to explain. She explained. So from another perspective, learn how to approach the question, discuss the differences between qualitative and quantitative studies. So you are taking the issue from different perspectives and analyze. That is the skill you develop. That is a skill you develop. Which one can be based on interview data? Which one can be based on experimental data? Qualitative, quantitative.
Qualitative based on interview.
Okay, Shini, qualitative is?
Interview data.
Interview data. Whereas experimental data can be used in?
Quantitative.
Quantitative study, Shini, fine. So, right, so differences. In which one the researcher knows exactly what he is looking for at the beginning. That means he has a very clearly defined objectives.
Qualitative.
The second situation, researcher analyzes the patterns.
Qualitative.
Patterns emerging from the data. He does not know what will come. Which is qualitative, which is quantitative.
Top is quantitative, bottom is qualitative, because you
Yeah, what do you mean by Fatima top button? Can you
analyzing data
explain?
patterns are qualitative.
Yeah, explain why.
Because you go through the essays to see what are the common mistakes, or you go through a questionnaire. So that is, you go through a pattern. I mean, you identify a pattern and you come to, decide what is happening. But
So we don't know what will be the pattern.
exactly.
You are trying to identify the pattern. For example, most students make mistakes with regard to subject-object, subject-verb agreement. We don't know the pattern, we will identify through the data. Good, Fatima. In the first one, the top, as you pointed out.
That is quantitative, because we get the statistics, and then we know what we are looking for. Like we already have an idea, like the marks we look into, and then we can easily decide, like,
There you are.
this set belongs to this group.
Good, very good. Clear. Champika, you want to add good? Keshini or Champika? Yeah.
First one is quantitative.
Fine.
Second one is qualitative.
There you are, right. Okay, good, Keshini. You are correct. You explained it, and I need not explain it any further. You are able to describe the differences between qualitative, quantitative from different perspectives. Which is hypothesis building, which is hypothesis testing.
Quantitative test is hypothesis building. Qualitative test is hypothesis testing.
Hypothesis testing is quantitative.
Quantitative.
Hypothesis testing is quantitative, because we get the marks, and we already have an idea and then we test it. But building is we need to get the data, and then only according to this can happen.
Right. Can you kindly explain it once more, Fatima? Very good. So that I need not tell you anything. Good.
Hypothesis
Fatima, once again, with an example.
The hypothesis testing, we already have an idea. Now, if we look into literature students doing English better, we can get their marks, and we can come into we already know it. It is testing, is it right or wrong here? But hypothesis building, we go through the interviews, we go through the essays, and then only we have to they make these kind of mistakes often. We need to build it after analyzing the data we have retrieved.
Well done, Fatima. Thank you. So there are very good lecturers here, right? You are explaining better than me, most of you. Very good. That's what I encourage, right? So I discuss only the format, you explain it. Fine. That is how we learn. And enrich your understanding by reading further in different websites, which has a flexible structure, which has a well-defined, predetermined structure. Which is flexible, you can change it and you can alter it, and right.
Flexible is qualitative, predetermined is quantitative.
Explain why.
Because qualitative, flexible means we never know unless we analyze the data. What we might find out. But predetermined, we exactly know, because it is hypothesis testing, so we already know. So it is predetermined, we will test it through this way, and will be the what we go through.
Exactly. So very good, right? So yeah, get the ability to describe it in writing at an examination, like, right? So this is, or in a presentation you are able to describe the difference, get that skill. Remember one thing, as undergraduate students, you will become graduates very soon. So your ability to convince the audience as lecturers or instructors or resource persons, new teachers are coming. You need to train them as graduates in the field. So you should have that ability to direct somebody to do research, at least to explain the theoretical framework. Theoretic theories underlying this. Fine, good. In which one do you collect data under controlled conditions? Which one data collected in natural settings? You go to the field and collect. Which is qualitative, which is quantitative? Explain.
Data collected uncontrolled condition is qualitative.
Why?
We can collect data from students by interviewing and asking questions. They are giving answers to the questions.
So is it controlled that you?
It is natural, neither. I mean,
Quantitative.
quantitative should come to the control condition.
Explain.
Because it is, how can I say? I mean, it is. I mean, in a test, during the test we get the information, data, but natural setting, it's not. I mean, it's just what data collected. I mean, we can just gather the books and then go through the essays.
Not the books, but the interviews, etc.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Good. Somebody who would like to add something? You all are welcome. And yeah, I would like to know your names also. Now I know most of you, Madhushani, this Keshini, Fatima, Purnima, right? I'd like to know your names. Okay, well done. Anyway, I do not want to explain further. Fine. Which one testing theories? Which one exploring ideas? Which one tests?
Theory is qualitative.
Explain.
Qualitative.
No, not exploring ideas
Quantitative.
is qualitative. Exploring ideas.
Testing theory is
Quantitative.
quantitative.
Quantitative is quantitative.
Yeah, Keshini, are you sure that we are? Yeah. So understand this difference. Testing theories, principles, whether the theory is right or wrong, whether a particular theory, whether a particular hypothesis. Theory means it can be a hypothesis at one stage. When the theory is proved, when the hypothesis is proved, it becomes a theory. Again, you can test it. So testing hypothesis or testing theories quantitatively. Exploring ideas through interviews and meeting people. Qualitative. So you understand the difference. I believe that now you are able to, I have only guided you, remember, guided you. At the examination, be prepared now itself. Be prepared now itself. That is, suppose that a question is given, either for the mid or the end. Discuss the differences between qualitative and quantitative studies. Viewing it from different perspectives, discuss. You can add many more points. I encourage you. I only guided you. I did not give you a fixed answer. There are differences between qualitative and quantitative studies generally. There are exceptions, but generally discuss them. I believe you are able to. If you like, you can add one or two more points because there are many more points. If not, I shall proceed on to the next part. කැස්ස නේද ඉරේෂ හොඳටම තෙමුණාද ඉරේෂ දැක්ක නේද right yes okay so I shall proceed on to the next part we will proceed further we will in this part we will compare contrast experimental studies and survey studies another two models experimental studies and survey studies so we need to identify mainly the differences between experimental studies and survey studies experimental studies means experimental studies means where you conduct a pre-test and you conduct a post-test and you see whether in generally typical educational settings, pre-test, post-test is experimental basically. Survey studies can be conducted by distributing questionnaire. What are the main differences between these two? Can you add something before I proceed on to this? Looking at it from different perspectives, can you explain the differences between experimental and survey studies?
Experimental it should be hypothesis testing, and non-experiment, I mean like research survey study. Research should be hypothesis building. If that's so, sir.
Yes, mostly you are right. This is not always true because even in survey studies you can test hypothesis and mostly it is one difference. You are correct, Fatima. Good. View it from other perspectives and see the differences.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Can we take monthly test as a pre-test?
It depends on your research. I mean, monthly test generally, if for example, if you want to, depending on your research topic, if you want to investigate speaking, monthly test should include only the speaking items. If it includes other things, then you can't take monthly test as pre-test. It depends on your research objective. Okay, Keshini?
Okay, sir.
Right. So, what are the differences experimental survey studies? Which is descriptive and which is experimental, it is very clear. You are right. Experimental studies focus on one experiment where you have intervention and after the intervention you measure the changes. It is experimental. Descriptive means it is you describe the patterns emerging. So it is, so in survey you describe, whereas experimental studies focus on one experiment. Again, larger sample, small sample, you can compare. Where do you get a larger sample in this context?
Descriptive experiment.
Yeah, experimental or survey?
Survey.
Larger sample. There you are. Whereas small sample is possible in experimental studies. So that is one limitation in experimental studies. So even, I mean, in comparison, relatively, earlier we said that quantitative larger sample. But when it comes to experimental studies, relatively smaller than the survey. Survey, it depends on the, I mean, the type of survey. Questionnaire, large number of participants can be included. which one will have variables, clearly defined variables, and which one you do not change, manipulate the variables. You do not control the variables, you collect data. In which one you manipulate the variables?
Experimental.
I mean, which one?
Manipulate variables in experimental.
There you are. Can you explain it with an example?
Because you are testing hypothesis, you know what is X and Y. But in this the survey studies, we don't have a hypothesis, so you have to go through the data and then come to conclusions.
Right. Good. I will add, for example, in experimental study, you manipulate variable, visual aids. So one group you give the visual aids, the other group you do not. So you control the use of it. So no such control in survey studies. No manipulation of variables in survey studies. In experimental studies, we control the variables. We change the variables and see the effect, which is describing, recording, analyzing, interpreting data. In which one a systematic method for finding an answer to a question.
Quantitative research,
Quantitative research, which one?
describing, recording, and
Yeah, I'm
analyzing.
asking about the experimental and survey.
Experimental research, we can describe, recording, and analyzing.
I mean,
survey. What? Describing, recording, analyzing, because interpreting data, we take a large sample and then you
explain a little further. It's not still clear.
because in the survey studies, we have to how can I explain it? I'm lost of words. In the survey studies, you go through the data that you have collected, and then you give a description there. But in the experimental studies, you know the variables and you know the question, and then the answer. It is just to what? To give like come to a conclusion. You can conduct it.
Right. You are right. Good. That is enough. Fine. Well done. Which one is a field study?
Study.
Which one is a study where you measure the effect of a particular treatment in a control situation? Which is
Experimental control situation, survey, field study.
Yeah, rather than giving answer, Fatima, explain.
You measure the marks and all in the experimental, but field study you have to have different ways of gathering data, like questionnaires, interviews.
Right. So we are looking for differences from different perspectives. Which one can begin without a hypothesis, which is essentially hypothesis testing.
Hypothesis testing is experimental, without a hypothesis survey.
Survey. Fine. Which one is based on readings of an experiment? Which one is based on your observation, interview data? Very obvious. No explanation required, everybody understands. Survey can be based on observation or interview. Whereas readings of an reading means the marks really. It is experimental. So I believe that you are able to describe the differences between qualitative and quantitative study. You can write a short essay. You can write a short essay once again describing the differences between experimental studies and survey studies. Let's proceed further. Let's proceed further. Research instruments. Research instruments. We'll discuss how we gather data in our studies. Research instruments. Before I begin, can some of you contribute and tell me what different research instruments are available for us to gather data? Research instrument or research tools? What-
One-to-one interviews, focus
Kamali,
group
good.
interviews, text analysis, questionnaire,
Very good.
pre-test and post-test like that.
Very good, Tamal. Can you explain on one or two? Tamali, one or two, explain
Post-test
little.
and yes, sir. Like the qualitative research like that, we can use post-test and pre-test like that as
Qualitative
a
or quantitative? Pre-test,
Quantitative.
post-test?
quantitative, sir.
Quantitative. Yeah. So one research
Quantitative.
tool is pre-test and post.
And
Right.
yeah.
Okay, Tamali, go ahead.
And the questionnaire like that, we can analyze like the qualitative like research for our data collecting tool.
That's right. And others' contribution, good. Okay, Purnima, fine.
It may be like maybe checklist or like tests we can have and surveys. We can
That's
deal with that, something like that, instruments.
very good, Purnima, fine. Yeah, here what is expected is at an examination, I mean, not examination oriented, but still your theoretical understanding means explain each research tool in detail. Not only list out, not only name the research tools, explain. Sometimes explain their advantages, disadvantages, etc. You should be able to. I will go ahead. What are the different research tools? So your question is explain different research instruments. Explain different research instruments. Your question. So how do you explain? One research tool is you conduct before the test, before the intervention of program, you conduct a test. And after the intervention program, you conduct a test. You gather data. You gather data to see whether there is a difference between pre-test marks and the post-test marks. So pre-test, post-test are research instruments. Pre-test, post-test are effective research instruments. They are used in experimental studies. There are other research tools that we can use in qualitative research. What are they? As Tamali pointed out, interviews, focus group interviews, or text analysis, observation, there are a lot of research tools. Research tools means the instruments we use to gather data. For example, even mechanical devices like camera recordings can be used to collect data. Or depth interviews can be conducted. Or projective techniques. Projective technique means you elicit data to identify underlying constructs. I mean, when I say that, it will be little complicated. For example, I will ask you a simple question. What is your opinion about the present government? My question. Can one of you answer the question without being biased? What is your opinion about the present government? You don't.
It's not a very good one because they don't have a proper plan. They just like theories there.
Go on, Fatima.
Right. So we don't have a proper plan. We should plan to succeed. We just survive on the like the debts we receive, and we are very happy about it. And like there's no proper agenda how to overcome this. What are the rules we should implement? They just increase everything, but no result is seen in that, because the rules, how can I say, the niti should be established in a country first, and it should be equal to all. Without doing that, there's no use, because the same thing will come again. I mean, same scenario.
Right. So through what Fatima pointed out, I am able to judge her personality. So I asked the question about the government, but I analyze her personality, her knowledge, her different personality traits, her intelligence, different attributes can be analyzed through the response given by her. It is a projective technique. Projective technique, this is, for example, in the classroom, when you ask the student to describe a picture, it is not only the speaking skills, it will demonstrate the personality of the child's intelligence, fluency, very many aspects. A projective technique can be employed to gather data. So, right? So different or content analysis. Content analysis means, for example, you can analyze the speech delivered by the president at the parliament and its discourse features, the typical discourse features in the speech, persuasive tone, how he made. So different aspects can be analyzed here, right, relating to the president, right? So you can analyze a text, very many. Basically, you have structured text. You can analyze, I mean, the essays of the students, or maybe survey comments, or unstructured text like the transcription of an interview or recording. You can collect data. They are all research instruments. We will focus mainly on some of the selected research techniques. What are the advantages of mailing the questionnaire to the respondents? Can you focus on? Questionnaire is an effective research instrument. What are the advantages of distributing the questionnaire through email? You can distribute the questionnaire through email. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages of this research instrument? What are the advantages?
Can like give them enough time to think over the questions and give a very broad idea on it, then we get it on spot.
There you are. So in comparison to interview, disadvantage is obvious. They have enough time to think so that more accurate, more reliable response will be possible. Fine. Any other advantage? Distributing the questionnaire through email. Obvious advantages are there. I do not want to take much time on this. Obvious advantages are there. What are they? Tamali?
Sir, some students or some other persons, there are no any good personality to discuss some one-to-one person like that directly, but through this mail questionnaire, they can give clearly their ideas without any fear.
Without they exactly right, fine, so that they will be able to reveal when their names are not revealed, they are able to provide more accurate, consistent, reliable responses. Very good. So that is one advantage of the questionnaire method. We should be sensitive to these when we conduct the research. Any other advantage? Mailing the questionnaire. Disadvantages? Are there disadvantages of the questionnaire?
So when they are given the
So we
questionnaire,
can't
you
exactly think this answer given this.
Yeah, Sadi later. Okay, Fatima first. What is it?
we can't exactly, they can, cover up, as soon as you ask, what do you think of the government? Now it was not a prepared answer. So the what I feel comes out. But when you give me the questionnaire already, I always try to, cut off and remove the things that could be, which can be used to judge me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, there is the other side that you are able to cover the information that you do not wish to reveal.
Exactly.
Right. Sadi, you wanted to add something?
Sometimes we can't get the correct and accurate response.
Accurate response. Fine. Okay, I will raise this question at this stage. Interview method, what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Interview as a research method. What are the advantages?
Accuracy is highly can recommend.
Tamali, why?
We can get direct message.
The
Sadiq, good.
accuracy is can very important.
Why do you say that it would be more accurate?
Because we know this idea comes from this person, like that. This is the pure idea of this source of person.
Right. Sadi,
Yes, because we can.
Purnima?
So understanding, so like when we are interviewing, so that it is with the facial expressions, hand movements and the words which express, it's bit more clear.
There you are. We are able to probe in deep into the idea with the person, and you can get quite a lot of information which will not be revealed in a questionnaire. Fine, Purnima.
And sometimes we can understand their mindset also.
There you are. We are able to, their mind means we are able to probe into the phenomenon deeply. Fine. I will quickly go through. Question is discuss the advantages, disadvantages of different research tools. Are you able to describe? I will point out some. Mail in the questionnaire. You send an email. So it does not cost much. Even when the population is very large, you can send 500 emails at the same time. So low cost is one obvious advantage of mailing the questionnaire to the respondents. And you can approach people from different geographical regions, even from the respondents from America, you can contact immediately. You cannot do so in an interview under practical constraints. Therefore, mailing the questionnaire has the obvious advantage, big, low cost and widely spread geographical area can be covered. Further, it is free from the bias of the interviewer. That means when there is an interviewer, you know that this person, that he has this idea, therefore I will support this idea. So these personal matters will come into play. But in a questionnaire, such things will not happen. Further, respondents, as Fatima pointed out, will be given enough time to give well thought answers so that more consistent, reliable answers can be taken. You can obtain data from a large sample. You can obtain data from large samples. When you obtain data from larger samples, your data are more reliable, more consistent. Your analysis is more reliable when you obtain a larger sample. Through a questionnaire mailing to the respondents, a larger sample can be obtained, so the results will be more reliable. But there are some disadvantages. That is, so maybe you don't know whether the questionnaire will be returned. Some of them will not return the questionnaire. So when you send the questionnaire to 500 people, 500 respondents, you cannot expect all the respondents will reply. So there is the problem of issue of low rate of return. The other one is if the respondents are educated and if they are cooperative, no issue. But all the respondents will not be educated and cooperative. Therefore, their responses may not be accurate. They will interpret the questions in different ways. The other issue is, other disadvantage of the questionnaire is, when you send the questionnaire, you have no control. You have no control over the situation. You can't change it. Or you can't say that this is what I want. You lose the control over the questionnaire when it is sent. But in an interview, you can explain, no, that is not what I want this one. In a questionnaire, unless it is precise, they will also interpret in different ways. You lose control over the questionnaire once it is sent. And sometimes maybe the answers are ambiguous. You are unable to interpret whether the respondent is saying this or that. Or sometimes they will omit some replies so that you are unable to get the information you expect. So there are some disadvantages of mailing the questionnaire. As a researcher, you should be sensitive to them. And so you need to decide whether the questionnaires include open-ended questions or closed-ended questions. So if it is open-ended, I mean, for example, you can design Likert scale. We will discuss them later. Effect of grammar instruction on development of writing. So you can say a questionnaire, how do you rate the effect of grammar instruction on development of writing ability? Very high, high, moderate, satisfactory, little. So you have a scale. So the participants will mark which one, so that you can calculate the frequencies. Very high, 30% agree. Moderate, or 20%. Likewise, you can make calculations and it can be taken for statistical analysis. So you have some understanding. I mean, another question, example, how do you rate the attractiveness of the new geography textbook? Very high, high, moderate, satisfactory, little. the participants will rate, and you can calculate how many participants very high. Out of 500, 100. That is 1/5. That is 20% participants very high. Likewise, you can make calculate the frequencies, and statistically you can analyze. So when the objective type of test, objective type of questions are set in the questionnaire. So we know some research instruments through which we can gather data.
So we can archive.
Explain, good.
We can archive, sorry, like store when we use email. So like it is directly we can store without any force.
There you are. And that will increase the efficiency
Yes.
in your study. Fine, Purnima. So be sensitive to different types of research instruments. So you select your research, very good, Purnima. So yeah, be sensitive to research instruments when you are conducting the research. And after you decide your hypothesis, first of all, you decide your objectives. Based on the objectives, hypothesis, variables, formulating the conceptual framework, going little further. How do I collect data? Research instruments, variety of research instruments, you select the one that best fits into your research. So you are coming from that direction, beginning with a problem, proposing a solution. Based on that, the title and general objective. After that, specific objectives based on the general objective. From the specific objectives, hypothesis. Right, operationalization, and we discussed that. And afterwards, you come to a point, okay, now my hypothesis, my way, my path is clear. My conceptual framework based on these variables. You have done that. After that, operationalization, everything. After that, you select your research instrument or instruments. Okay, I will select these two research instruments for my study. They are the ones which would best or which would be most appropriate for my study. Now the problem sample. Now the problem sample selection. Selecting an appropriate. Do not think that I have already taken my sample, my class. No. Not that. That is not the proper way to begin your study. Right? I have my class, whatever it is, my class. No. Not that. The first stage is formulating those objectives, hypotheses, conceptualization. Now, after that conceptual framework, after that you decide the data collection. After that, you begin to think your sample. That is your sample. So, what do you mean by sample? You take the population. Population means the entire from your study, all those concerned with your study, your population. But you can't, gather data from everybody concerned. Everybody concerned. For example, when you say second language learners in the Ua province, you can't select all the second language learners. Even if you say the second language learners in Ua Mahavidyalaya, you can't select all the learners. You have to take a sample. You have to take a sample. If the population is homogeneous, homogeneous means everyone is alike. No differences among them. So that very easy. You can select one person and you can ask some questions his idea will be the idea of all the others because everyone is alike. Naturally, it is not. People are different. They are not homogeneous. When they learn, if everyone is learning in the same way, no issue, one person can be tested so that the result will be applicable to all the others because everyone is equal. It is not the case. It is not the case. Population is not homogeneous. Population is heterogeneous. There are different learners. They are not equal. They learn in different ways. So you have to take, you can't take everyone also. If you can't take everyone in the population, you have to take a sample. When you take a sample, if everyone is alike, homogeneous, you can take one enough. But population is heterogeneous. So we have the problem of taking a sample. Population means all the subjects concerned. Subjects means the participants or those who are concerned. For example, university students. The entire university students cannot be taken. You can't. You have to take a sample. Why? To represent the whole population. To represent the whole population. So when you test your hypothesis, actually you see whether it can be applicable to the whole population. So that way is to represent the population, you should take sample. Then only you can make inferences. Inferences you can predict. This is how they learn. They learn means the sample, but the sample is representing the whole population. So that this is how the whole population is. You are generalized. There are different sample methods. Different sample methods. I will not continue the sample methods. How you select a sample. I will discuss different sample methods in my next lecture. My today's lecture is over. You can leave. My lecture is over. But wait, if you have questions, please wait. Otherwise, you can leave. My lecture today is over. More importantly, first of all, I will approve in the sense I will go through your titles. Send me chat messages. Type in your title. I will go through it and discuss with you one by one. While you send me the chat messages, other problems. Somebody has asked me, others can leave. Huh? My lecture is over, others can leave. What is the closing date? The university will announce. The university will announce, but you are ready, I believe, with your proposal. Okay, you can send me the chat messages. I will give you 1 or 2 minutes for you to discuss other problems. Yeah.
Yes, sir, excuse me. I already gave you my topic, but just, when it comes to the measuring, what I earlier got was impact of literature studies on second language writing skills. But can I change it to English proficiency so that I can get the term text paper marks and
your topic has not yet been approved. No, you can make changes. If you send me the chat message, I can see whether it is okay.
Okay.
When you are talking, I find it difficult for me to judge the topic. That is why I ask you to send me the chat messages orally, verbally. When you are saying that I am unable to judge, right? I mean, final approval has not been given. It is given by the university. I will go through it before that. University means you will send the topics to the university. University will send me the list so that I will approve the list. But when I have approved this in the class, the same topic will come to me in the document. So it is easy for me to approve the document. That is what I am doing. So please discuss the title with me through a chat message and I will tell you whether any changes are needed in your title. Okay, I have about 15 chat messages titles. I will take them in the order as they appear in the chat box. Yeah, okay. I am starting. Sasita? Oh, Sasita?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The most effective method to improve English pronunciation among the second language. What is the effective method?
Um, Sir, I thought to find a method.
How are you going to find it?
I asked them to read the text, and I thought to teach them phonology. Then again, I am thought to give them a reading text and
Right. I understand. Shall we change your topic?
okay, sir.
Yeah. My suggestion
Hmm.
is assessment of
First assess.
assessment of
Okay.
effective teaching strategies.
Assessment of
Effective teaching strategies
effective teaching strategies
on development of
on
development of
Okay, sir.
second language pronunciation skills.
Language pronunciation skills.
Yeah. Send the chat message to everyone. You have sent it, correct? Okay, I'm not saying Sasit. Don't send privately because everybody can see the chat message and you can see how the titles are. I mean, how effective titles are built. You can learn that. Others
Okay.
can leave if you don't have question. Okay, Sasita?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now,
Thank
Habish,
you.
yeah, Ramsan.
Yes,
Ramsan?
sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, Ramsan, usually we don't have questions as topics. Okay, as
Okay.
title. So, is online learning good? For what? For what?
So I didn't get you, like,
Sorry?
so I didn't get you. I couldn't follow you.
I mean, your topic is online learning good?
Yeah, it's
Online learning for what? You can learn so many things.
so I'm trying to look into the advantages and disadvantages and then conduct research.
On learning what? You can learn so many things. You can learn how to eat, how to cook food. Huh? What is yours?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
My title is Improving Linguistic Skills of Students.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I am taking for according to the send me a chat message, Keshini, right?
I sent that
Okay, I am taking in the
chat
order.
message.
Okay, I am taking them in the order, right? Yeah, Habisha.
Or sir, can we say the impact of online teaching
Impact of online teaching on what?
on students' achievement?
On students' academic achievement,
Academic achievement.
right? Is it okay
Is that
now?
okay, sir? Yeah.
That is okay. The one that we discuss now is okay, right, Ramsan?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
right. Other when I have discussed, others can leave, right? Send me the chat. Send the chat message to everyone so that others also can concentrate and see how we improve the titles. Kalapriya. Kalapriya.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Good morning. Now, how improve the reading skill? How are you going to, what is your proposed solution?
Because some of the students in grade 6 they struggle to read the sentences formally, sir. So
Right, very good. So what is your solution?
I think after this project, sir, most of the students
What do
they
you
can,
do in the project? What do you do in the project?
First, I introduce. First, I let them to read the small words. After then, I can increase the 3-letter words. Sorry, 3 words in a sentence. After that, I let them to read the paragraphs. So that's the thing.
Right. So shall we change this a little bit?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, effective strategies
Effective strategies
on development of second language reading skills among lower secondary learners. Grade 6 means lower secondary learners,
Yeah, okay, sir.
right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, that would be fine. Okay, Kalapriya?
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Nizar?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning. Enhancing the ability of correct letter formation. How are you going to enhance?
I'm going to plan interventions to enhance the ability of their correct letter formation, because I have come to realize that the letter formation takes a shape like some cursive with a kind of a font. So I want to develop their correct letter formation, sir.
Well, tell me example of one strategy you use. How are you going to do that?
By planning activities for each interventions, I have not yet decided of the interventions. So by planning different activities, I'm planning to enhance their data formation. Like
different activities.
Yes, sir.
Then shall we do it like this?
Okay, sir.
Effectiveness of pedagogic activities. Pedagogic means teaching. Effectiveness of pedagogic activities
effectiveness of pedagogic activities
on the development of letter formation skills among primary students. Grade 4 means primary.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that would be do. I mean, that would do.
So it is effectiveness of pedagogic activities on the development of letter formation skills among primary students.
Fine. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Niroshan? Niroshan is not here, ne? Not the title. Yeah, my PowerPoint presentation, everything is there in the recording. So recording will be uploaded by the university. If it is not uploaded, please tell me, right? I think they will take about few days, but they will upload it. Okay, Udari.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning. A sociological analysis of the child abuse patterns in Sri Lanka. No problem, Udari.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Right?
sir.
That is fine, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hamad?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. The effect of using visual aids in improving the students. The effect of using is not necessary. The effect of visual aids on development of on development of speaking skills
Okay.
among ESL learners.
Okay, sir. Noted.
Right. Fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Irandi?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Relationship between students' confidence on development of oral proficiency. Students' confidence. Relationship between this, this and this, no? Between students' confidence and not on, no? Relationship, ne?
Yes, sir.
If you want, you can say and or not relationship, effect. You can select one. Effect on relationship with. Which one do you like? Both are correct.
Effect on relationship with.
No. You can't have both. Right? Either effect of students' confidence on development of oral proficiency, or relationship between students' confidence and development of oral proficiency and oral proficiency among second language learners. Which one do you like? Effect or relationship?
Relationship is okay, sir.
And then you have to have and.
Okay, sir.
Relationship between students' confidence and then not develop and oral proficiency among second language learners.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ran. Mangalavani?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning. Now we can't have a question for the topic. Why
Okay,
the
sir.
students cannot speak in
Sir, it is language, classroom language, sir. Improving classroom language.
I did not understand it properly. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Sir, improving the classroom language of ESL learners in primary classes.
What do you mean by classroom language?
It is like teachers and students using in classroom.
How are you going
But
to
oral language, sir.
how are you going? Yeah, how are you going to improve?
By games, dramas, role plays like that, sir.
What are you going to do? Tell me. Games, drama, or what are you going to do?
To get the students speaking, sir.
That's right. So how are you going to do it?
Now, by if I give a video to listening, sir, then they should understand the structure of the language and speak. No, sir.
Right. Then shall we change it like this?
Okay, sir.
Effectiveness of.
Yes.
Learning strategies.
Yes, sir.
On development of.
Yes, sir.
On development of second language speaking skills. Second language speaking skills.
Yes,
in ESL classroom.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Vani.
Sir, for that, what kind of questionnaires we can include, sir?
You have to do that, not a questionnaire. You have to do that, and you have to test whether they improve by giving them a test at the end.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Right, sir.
Yeah. Kavindya, Pumali. Kavindya. She has left. Kavindya. Kavindya, can you hear me? Kavindya, why don't you talk? Can you hear me?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm coming according to the order, Keshani, right? Keshani. Kavindya, can you hear me? Okay, after Kavindya, I will take the other next one. Who is this? RS?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, yes. What's your name?
Sir, I am Ravindu.
Ravindu, yes, yes. Impact of activity-based teaching on the development of reading, comprehensive, no, not comprehension, no? Ravindu?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, this is okay, good. Impact of activity-based teaching on the development of reading comprehension skill. Right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Vinita?
Thank you, sir.
Right, okay. Vinita?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Good morning. What are you going to investigate, Vinita?
Now their handwriting is poor, sir. So after teaching the correct letter formation, I want to check whether they are writing good.
How are you going to teach them letter formation?
I haven't planned it yet.
What is there in your plan? What are the ways to improve?
There may be activities for letter formation.
Right. Then we will use the topic like this, right? Effectiveness of selected activities. Effectiveness of selected activities.
Okay, sir.
On development of.
Okay.
Letter formation skills.
Okay, sir.
Among primary students, if you like. Another one has used the same topic, never mind. Right?
Should I change, sir?
Okay. Among primary students also can be added, Vinita, if you want. Okay?
Okay. Right,
okay.
sir. Thank you.
Right. Madhuka?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes. Good. Impact of language activities on development of simple present tense. Development of impact of language activities on development of simple present tense constructions. Affirmative according to they are not necessary, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, impact of language activities on development of simple present tense constructions.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Fatima Nazir?
Yes,
Fatima.
sir.
Yeah.
I actually want to earlier I chose like impact of literature studies on second language writing skills. But today I learned that if I take English proficiency only, I can take the term test paper marks. Isn't that, sir?
Yeah. This is okay. You have not taken.
If I write writing skills, I will have to give them writing activities and measure it, isn't it, sir?
Yeah. So it depends, whatever you like, right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is okay, right?
Thank you, sir.
Right. Prasad? Prasad? Prasad has left. Who is Prasad? Prasad has left. Okay, then Sandareka, Virajini?
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, yes, good morning. Study on the effectiveness of audio aids to improve English level. Yeah, a study on the effectiveness of audio aids on the development of English language listening skills. Did you hear, Sandareka?
A study on the effectiveness of audio aids on the development of English language listening skills.
That's right, in English language listening skills, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Devmal?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Development of the knowledge of pluralization. No? How are you going to develop?
So the student have the problem with the pluralization. So by doing the activities, sir, I'm going to develop their knowledge.
Right. So shall we change it like this?
Sure, sir.
Effectiveness of selected activities on the development of the development of the knowledge of pluralization of nouns.
Is that this effectiveness of selected activities on development of the knowledge of the pluralization of noun?
On the knowledge of pluralization of noun. Noun, not noun, nouns.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Ayesha? Impact of language games on development of second language speaking skills. Okay, Ayesha, no problem, right? Where is Ayesha?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, no change in the topic, Ayesha, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, Bimal Kika?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, impact of activity-based teaching on development of simple sentences. On development of, on construction of simple sentences.
Okay, sir.
In simple present tense, not necessary, you can do it. But
Okay, sir.
yeah, among grade 6 students, among lower secondary class students.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Chaturika?
Sir?
Yeah, effectiveness of learner-centered motivation strategies on English language proficiency. Okay, Chaturika, no issue, right?
Thank you, sir.
Right. Keshini? Keshini, she has left. Keshini has left, no, after.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Improving linguistic skills among primary students.
Your topic.
Yes, sir.
Improving linguistics
Skills.
What do you mean by linguistic skills?
Reading, writing, listening, speaking. 4 skills.
All cannot be taken, Keshini. Take one.
Okay, sir.
What is the skill you are taking?
Reading.
Reading. How are you going to develop their reading skills?
Providing reading materials to read students and check their pronunciation skills.
Not pronunciation, no, reading is reading. Pronunciation is speaking.
Range of the reading.
Right. Then shall we write the title like this? Okay?
Okay.
I will read out. write it down. Effectiveness of selected activities right
Okay.
on the development of reading skills
Reading skills
among second language learners. Okay, Keshini?
Okay.
Okay, fine. Right. Then next, Chaturika Hemachandra.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm Kavindya Pimani. Sir,
Kavindya.
I had a issue in my microphone, sir.
Oh, I know that, Kavindya. What is it? Where is your?
Sir, my title is Impact of.
Impact of written exercises.
Yes, sir.
On development of grammar skills. Okay, fine, Kavindya. No issue, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Now, who is the next one? Devmani, Aisha, Chaturika Hemachandra? I don't know. Chaturika has sent me twice. Chaturika, I have given her. Okay. Chaturika is not here. Sandareka, Deepanjali.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, yes. Improving the ability of writing hanging letters correctly. How are you going to improve, Sandareka?
I have seen some students in the schools, they can't write letters correctly. So I plan the intervention activities to the objectives.
Sorry, what are you going to do to improve? What are you going to do to improve?
Select some tracing activities.
Activities. Then shall we write your title like this?
Okay, sir.
Effectiveness of?
Yeah, effectiveness of
selected activities.
Effectiveness of
selected activities.
Selected activities
on development of no, not development, sorry, on formation of formation
yes
of hanging letters among primary students. Okay. Okay. Then Tilini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Exploring difficulties in speaking among the students. Exploring difficulties in
speaking.
Difficulties encountered. Okay. Exploring difficulties encountered by upper secondary students. Grade 9 means upper secondary, no?
Yes, sir.
Upper secondary students in speaking skills.
Sir, if I selected this point, then I need to explain the activities also, no, sir?
No, not necessary. You can conduct a
Sir,
questionnaire.
Sir, I have another one also, effectiveness of selecting
No.
activities.
I can't, unless you have a chat message, I can't concentrate
Okay,
on
sir.
that.
Okay, sir.
If you
Thank you,
want,
sir.
you can send me that chat message and I will respond to it. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Iresha? Madhushani? No. Iresha left me. Sanita? Sorry, Sasita? Sasita also has left. Okay. Gayani?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Impact of family environment on impact of family. Shall we change background?
Yes, sir. Family background.
Impact of family background on second
One.
language learning. Once is not necessary,
Okay, sir.
right? Okay, Gayani.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Navodhi?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Impact of games on the development of vocabulary among ESL learners.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right, okay, fine. Ramzan? Ramzan left. Ramzan is not here, ne? Madhushi?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Impact of use of mother tongue. Impact of use of mother tongue on development of English language proficiency.
Okay.
On among lower secondary students. Right?
Right, sir. So,
Okay.
sir, can now here I just decided if I plan to do pre-test and post-test. Now, most of the Sinhala medium learners, they most of the time they use mother tongue in between the teaching and learning process. Now, when we take the English medium learners, they don't use so can I take 2 classes in Sinhala medium and English medium, sir, or else 2 classes in a private school and government school?
No, you can whatever you like.
All right.
Right, there is no issue. Whatever you like,
So
you can compare, right?
Okay, so then sir, if I use a pre-test, like I can take the same paper for both classes, then after as the post-test also the
Same paper for both classes.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Same paper for both classes.
Now, sir, I'm working in a private school, so there we are, teaching for English medium learners. So, can I take my own class and a separate class from another school?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. So, it is not dependent on the same teacher. Is not.
No. It should not be the same teacher. Right?
Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Okay. Mali Rajapaksha.
Sir, good morning.
Mali, are you doing postgraduate also?
No, sir.
No. Right, some other one, no? Yeah. Okay. Exploring the impact of screen time on second language development among young students means, what do you mean by young students?
ESL students.
Huh?
It should be ESL students.
Sorry?
The word should be ESL student. I have.
Right. Among ESL students.
Yeah.
Among ESL students. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your topic is okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right? Purnima.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Activities to develop speaking skills in low. Yeah. Shall we add effectiveness of
Yes, sir. Effectiveness of
selected activities
selected activities
on development of
yes,
speaking skills among lower secondary class learners or among lower secondary learners.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Now Kavindya and Yega.
Sir. Yes, good morning, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Good morning. Use English language creatively and
Among secondary class students, sir, is it okay?
what are you going to do?
So there are so many students face disabilities in their writings. Oh no, sir. So I choose to do some different kind of writing strategies in the classroom to improve their writing ability.
Fine. Shall we change the topic like this?
Oh, sure, sir.
Effectiveness of selected writing strategies on development of second language writing competence.
Sorry, sir.
Writing competence.
Writing competence. Okay, sir.
Right, that's fine.
Sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now Nilushi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. To practice writing skills, impact of selected activities.
Impact of selected. Okay.
On development of writing skills.
Right, sir. Writing skill.
Among secondary learners. Right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Now Ishara. Ishara. No, she has left.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Problems teaching. What are you going to do, Ishara? What are you going to do?
The problem is
Yeah. Tell me what you are going to do.
that means in secondary classroom there are large number of students in the classroom.
Yeah.
Sometimes the limited teaching resources.
How are you going to collect data? How are you going to collect data, Ishara? Ishara,
Yes,
can you
sir.
hear?
Yes.
How are you going to collect data? Shall we write the topic like this?
Okay, sir.
Investigating the problems encountered by you are going to investigate the problems of learners or teachers?
Learners, sir.
Problems encountered by second language learners.
Okay.
In secondary classes.
Okay, sir.
Right. Now, Ediri Singh.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning. impact of using visual aids in teaching to enrich students' attention towards second language teaching learning. Visual aids. Develop what? To improve what? Everything. Everything.
I want to improve their writing skills and reading skills.
Writing skills. So write down the topic like this. Impact of audio visual aids on development of writing skills
Okay, sir.
among second language learners in secondary classes. Okay? Okay. Next, Bhagya.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hiruni Bhagya, ne? Relationship between homework completion and what are you going to do?
Sir, I'm going to see whether there's an impact between students attending to homework and their test results, term test results. Whether
Term test results means writing.
Yes, sir.
Then impact of homework assignments on development of second language writing skills. Okay? Okay, Hiruni?
Impact of homework assignment on development of second language writing skill.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, right. Then Dilshani?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dilshani?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here, impact of pedagogic activities on development of handwriting skills. Okay, Dilshani, no issue, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Right. Niroshan?
Yes, sir.
Niroshan? Yeah. Impact of effective strategies to develop speaking. Shall we change it like this? Impact of selected teaching strategies on development of speaking skills among second language learners, among ESL learners. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Prasad? Technical issue I had. Prasad is not here. Prasad is not here, ne? Okay, Prasad, you can discuss the topic.
Okay, sir. Sir,
yeah.
I am having a technical issue.
Okay.
Now it's okay, sir.
Okay. Improving reading. How are you going to improve reading?
Sir, giving them activities
right.
and teaching them vocabulary.
No, do one activities, right?
Okay, sir.
effectiveness of selected reading activities.
Elected reading activities.
Selected activities.
Selected reading activities.
Selected activities.
Selected activities. Okay, sir.
On development of reading comprehension skill
reading comprehension skills
among grade 8 students.
Grade 8 students.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. So now I think I have completed
Good
all.
morning, sir. Excuse
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Azza.
Yes, sir. I'm going to correct the mirror letters among primary students.
Send me a chat message, or else you can discuss next week.
Okay,
Orally, I can't. I mean, verbally, when you say that, I can't concentrate. If you send me a chat message, I can.
Okay, sir.
What are you going to do this next week, or today you are going to send me a chat?
Now I'm writing a chat, sir.
Okay. Any other question from anybody else?
Sir, I'm Purnima.
Yeah.
Regarding my topic that you explained before,
Yeah.
effectiveness of selected activities on development of speaking skills among lower secondary classes. So that I will be, sir, introducing activities for the children so that I will be checking the effectiveness of it. Is that
That's
the way,
right.
sir?
Yeah. I mean, as you like. So that, right? So that you have to give a post test and see whether they improve.
Right. And can I take different students from different schools?
Yeah. That is fine. Very good.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right? Not only one school.
Oh, right, sir.
Right? Yeah.
Because sometimes some schools, I have observed that some schools like Colombo schools, like some students are brighter than some undeveloped. So like, can I write about that as well, sir?
Yeah, that is under discussion. You can explain.
Right. Sir.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Azza.
Yes, sir.
Who is this?
Yeah, it's Azza. Yeah.
What is your right? Correct mirror letters among private. How are you going to do that?
We have to select some students, those who are facing the mirror letter.
Okay. Then after that, what are you going to?
Practicing the letters, some letters like S, D, B, the simple letters.
Then
Giving
write,
more practices.
okay, write it like this. Effectiveness of practice activities.
Practice activities
on formation of what letters you say?
Mirror letters.
Mirror letters among primary students.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Who is this Niswana?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning. Improving the English knowledge of grade freshers as they lack due to considering. How are you going to improve? How are you going to?
I think this is a real problem we face in our school. As I'm teaching in bilingual unit, when students come to grade 6, sir, they lack English knowledge completely. That means in grade 4 and 5, they never learn English. They consider only scholarship studies only. So it's a big issue for us. So
what is your solution?
So I'm trying to improve their English knowledge.
How are you going to do that?
By improving their 4 skills.
No, that's okay. To improve their 4 skills, what are you going to do?
Activities.
Activity. Okay. So write it like this.
Yes, sir.
Effectiveness of selected activities. Effectiveness of selected activities
Yes, sir.
on development of what skill are you going to do? All skills you can't improve. Select one.
Reading, sir.
On development of reading skills.
Yes, sir.
Among lower secondary class learners. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so now I have.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Is this a good topic for research?
Yes, yes, yes. What we discussed.
Yeah, this is a real problem we face. That's why I wanted to do this.
Okay, good, good. Right?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I am going to end the session now.
Okay, sir.
Let's
Thank you,
meet
sir.
again, others. We will meet again next day, right? I am going to end the session.